YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury on a budget, so if you're into that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like all the videos that you enjoy. Today's video is something I have never done before. I have a subscription box, and this is from Fashom. It's a clothing subscription box. So before I open it and see what we got in the box and do the try on, I want to talk about why I have this Fashom unboxing and why I'm sharing it with you. I've never done any subscription boxes before, and I've especially never done clothing boxes because I feel like I am very hard to fit and I'm very picky, and those two things are not a good combination when it comes to other people picking out clothes for me and buying clothes online. I would generally much rather go into a store and try something on, because I feel like most of my life, when I find something that I like, that I think will fit, I try it on and it doesn't work at all. It looks awful on me. So I feel like it's hard to find things for me. But Fashom reached out to me. I get offers pretty often, several times a week, from different companies who want to send me a product and do a video about it, and 99% of them, maybe more, I say no to because they are not connected to my channel, or it's not a product I'm interested in, or it's something I don't think you guys would be interested in. But what caught my interest about Fashom, because of course I was reluctant being a clothing company, is that, let me read what they wrote in their email. $1 from every box is donated to Second Chance Rescue New York City Dogs. And I mean, they had me right there with the dog rescue, but then they also said that all items are cruelty-free, 100% vegan, and eco-friendly. That was enough to capture my attention. Well, the dog part was enough to capture my attention, but the rest of it was enough to convince me to go ahead and give these guys a shot. They sent me this box for free, and before they did, I was able to go through their whole process where you go online, you give them information about your sizes, things that you are interested in. They ask about the styles of clothing that you're interested in. They even ask about accessories like jewelry. They give visual examples of different styles, and you click whether you like something. You have a chance to tell them some of the things you don't like, and then at the very end there's a box where you can write to your stylist and tell them some things you're looking for, some things that you really want, some things you really don't want, and then the stylist goes through their inventory and selects items that they think would be a good match for you. After a few days you get an email that says your selections are on the website, so you go log in. For me, the stylist sent 7 selections, and from those I pick the 5 that I want. And another thing I really liked about Fashom was that if there aren't 5 that I want, I'm not forced to pick those. I can get in touch with my stylist via email and say, hey, I like these for these reasons, but I don't like these for these reasons. Could you send me a few more options to choose from? And they go back and forth and work with you until you have 5 items that you think you're gonna like, and then they ship you the box. Now, I, of course, was more difficult, and I think I warned them about this up front, that I was pretty picky. I didn't like many of the selections that were first sent. Several of them were things I would never have worn. And the stylist did explain, when she sent the first 7 items, there was a little note that came with them that said she picked some things she thought I would like, but she also picked some things she thought would be outside of the box for me. And she said she liked to do that to expose people to new things and get them to try new things. And while on one hand I think that's a really good idea, on the other hand, I've lived in my body and my brain for 40 years now, and I feel like I know what I like and know what I don't like. And sometimes with some of these selections, it felt like I've filled out this big survey, I've given you information about what I like and don't like, and sometimes it's like they're not even listening because I got things that were just not at all what I wanted. Some things I've specified clearly I don't want, whether it was specific sleeve lengths or colors or whatever it may be, I got options that had those things that I didn't want. So some of that was frustrating, and I did go back and forth with them several times, and it usually took a few days between the time that I would email them and then I would hear back from them. So the process was, I felt kind of slow, but then on the other hand kind of understandable, because I don't know how many clients they have that they're dealing with, and it must take a while to go through that process as the stylist and try to figure out what someone else who you don't even know likes and doesn't like, and go through the inventory and find things for them in the right styles, the right cuts, the right sizes, the right colors. It doesn't seem like a very easy task. I do wish they would send more selections, or that you had the option, like if you shop at a website website that sells clothing, that you had the option to look through things yourself and say, hey, I want to try this, this. Just pick things out yourself. I think that cutting out the stylist middleman part, I feel like they'd make more sales that way because you're picking out things you already think you're gonna like. I feel like it sort of wastes some time to have someone else pick things out for you. But I also know that that's how a lot of these clothing subscription boxes work. And it can be fun, it can be, to have somebody pick stuff out for you. It's a surprise in a box. But with Fashom, in the end, you do know what you're getting. And it's just a matter of when you receive it, feeling the fabric, trying it on, seeing what you think then. And then you can return things if you don't like them. Now, we did have one little snafu besides all the problems that I caused. And that was when we finally decided, or when I finally decided on 5 items. Several days later, I got an email saying that one of the items, there was a, what did they call it? A quantity issue. So basically they were out of stock of it. And rather than give me several options to choose from, they said, we're out of the item, so here's what we're gonna send you instead. And it was this sweater that I thought was hideous. I just did not like it at all. So I wrote them back right away. I said, I don't like that. Don't send it to me, please. Please send me a different selection. So they sent another shirt a few days later, which I also did not like. And I said, please don't send me that either. And I asked, can you send me more than one thing to choose from so that I have a few options? So a few days later, they sent me 3 more things, and I told them, honestly, I don't like any of these 3 that much either, but I'll go ahead and pick one so that we can, you know, get moving, get this box out. I will say too, once you sign up with them, they do put I think it's a $15 charge on your account. That's like a stylist fee. And if you decide to keep anything from your box, that $15 goes toward your purchases. And that seems to be pretty standard across the board with clothing subscription boxes. Also, if you decide to keep 3 to 4 items, you get a 25% discount off all of those items. And if you keep all 5 items, you get a 30% discount off all the items. And they said that the items that they send you average in price about $35 an item. And I will say here, look, I'm not that into fashion. I tend to shop at TJ Maxx, where I can get good brands and good quality clothes, department store brands. And I usually pay between $15 and $20 for most of my tops. I did request tops only, and I believe my box has 4 tops and 1 dress. And I don't wear dresses very often, but this one looked like it was pretty, so I wanted to give it a try. I will say too, one thing that I think Fashom could improve about this process is that when they send you the pictures of the items to choose from, for most of the items, there's only 1 photo and there's no information about it. There's no information on the materials that they're made of. There's not like a front and back photo. I did get one shirt where they had a front and back photo, but that was because the back had a cutout detail. There was no way to zoom in on the pictures, like this floral dress that is in this box. I wanted to be able to see the print closer, and a few things I wanted to be able to see the prints closer, but there was no way to do that. So Fashom, if you're watching, that's one thing I would recommend improving. And then the last thing I'll say before I open this box is that once we got the final 5 items chosen, when I logged back in to Fashom into my account, it said that the order was processing, but I never got an email that it was being shipped. The last time I talked to them was 2 days ago. Today I was curious if the box had been shipped and when it might arrive, so I logged onto the website and it said both order processing and your item is being delivered today. So I never got a shipping notification to know when it was going to arrive or that it had even been shipped. Once it was delivered though, I did get an email then that said that the box had been delivered. That's the process. Now let's open this box up and see what I got. I'm both excited and nervous, and I will try all these on for you, but first I'll show you. Even though I know what's in the box, I don't totally know because I don't know about the materials and being able to see the patterns. I don't know how they'll fit. Well, it's packaged well. It has that pretty box, and then looks like this inside. Hello, beautiful. So an envelope. This must be, yeah, this has the invoice inside. It says thank you, and there is their information there, social media. This is the bag to be able to return anything that you don't want, or if you want to exchange something for a different size. Then it looks like this was taped together, but the tissue ripped. It was a little tight. So open this up. Okay, I can see the dress already and I don't like it. I'm very, very picky. Believe it or not, as basic as I dress, I'm very picky about my clothing. Okay, so Everything is like that. I am really glad to see that everything is not wrapped individually in plastic. I like that it's more eco-friendly, like they said in the original email to me. First item is this black top. Button up the back of it so that it'll keep it shaped better. When I said I don't like the pattern on the dress, I'll tell you why, and this was a problem I had with several of the things that they sent photos of to me to choose from, is I felt like a lot of the items looked cheap, like it was something you could go to Walmart and buy. Not just inexpensive, but cheap looking. All right, the first item in the box is this black top. It has a oval neck, like a boat neck, and it has some poofy sleeves, and that was what I really liked about this top. So there's that. That's item number one. Item number two is one that I'm not sure about because I like the colors and I like the stripes on this, but what I don't like is how the stripes are vertical here and then horizontal there. I'd rather they all be in one direction, but who knows, maybe when I put it on I'll like it better. We'll see. And it's 3/4 sleeves, which is what I requested. I requested 3/4 or long sleeve for everything because my classroom is freezing. I don't do short sleeves. All right, this is the dress. It's a stretchy fabric, that's nice. That shirt was stretchy too, the striped one. It's sort of an olive and cream or white color, and then the black is not. It's more of a work top. This did look like the cut would be flattering on me. Not sure. This looks like it's gonna be pretty tight on me actually. We'll see. But let me show you this pattern closer. So there you can see it a little better. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't gravitate toward this if I saw it in a store, but we'll see how it fits and maybe that will change my mind some. This top is one of the last 3 things they sent me where I said I didn't like any of them, but I would go ahead and order it anyway. And the reason that I don't like it is because the bottom is so big. I like my shirts to be a little tighter around the waist. This seems more like a maternity top to me. Those aren't very flattering on me. They make me look even bigger than I already am. And then the last item I'm a little nervous about because it's a sweater, and I told them I didn't want sweaters, but they sent me a few sweaters to choose from anyway. I really like the pattern on this and the overall design of it. I just don't like that it is a sweater. The reason for that is that when I live in Houston, I really don't need sweaters. Even though my classroom is freezing, I still leave my classroom and walk out into, 90-degree weather. And in the winter, it's usually not that cold here. I just don't have many opportunities to wear a sweater. So that's one. But two, if you wear sweaters, by the end of the day, they tend to be stretched out and lose their shape, and I don't like that about them. It's not flattering. But this is super cute, I think. It's pretty heavy too. This is not a Houston friendly top. It's more of a New York friendly top, but it is really cute. I like it. All right, I've got this first black top on here, and say hello to Baron. He's visiting in the chair there. So I would say the body of it, it looks like it fits, but it feels a little tight. I probably would do a half size up on this, which doesn't exist, but I still think it's cute. I'm gonna lean down a little bit, squat down a little so you can see me. Let me put my hair back so you can see the neckline better. Even though it's a little tight, I could lose a little weight and it would fit better. It's not that tight. I'm able to get it on, but it does, you can see here, it's kind of wrinkling up the top there a little bit. I do really like these sleeves. I think that's a really cute detail on this top. And that's definitely something that I could wear at work. I didn't know that it had the puffy shoulders like that. I think that's cute too. So I'd say they did good with this one. And the invoice price on this, it's the Les Amis balloon sleeve top, and it is $39. I feel like I could find something like this at TJ Maxx for $15 to $20, but I feel like I have found things like this at TJ Maxx for that price, but I still like it. If I'd found it at a cheaper price, and again, they do the 25 and 30% discounts depending on how many pieces you buy from the box. So I could get it cheaper than that price. But if I'd found it cheaper and tried it on, this is probably something that I would buy. Even though it's a little tight, I sometimes buy things that are a little too tight or a little too big because my weight fluctuates so much all the time. It always has, so that's something I always have to deal with, and that's one of the reasons it's so difficult to fit me. Here's the second top. This one fits really well. It fits the way I like a shirt to fit, and part of that is the material, where it's a little stretchy, so it's stretches out where you need it to stretch out. It hugs you and it just fits well. I still wish that the stripes were all going in one direction. That's just not my favorite thing. But since I wear jackets all the time over my tops, it won't be that noticeable. This top on the invoice is listed as the Les Amis, so it's LESAMIS striped top, and it's listed at $39. Being a TJ Maxx shopper, I would not pay that much for this. This is more like a $15 shirt for me, but because I don't like the stripes on top here, going the different direction, it's not a top that I would have purchased, even at $15. This top is a big no. No, no, no. And it's for exactly the reason that I said. It is just huge. It's basically a tent on me. It's not the slightest bit flattering. It just makes me look even bigger than I am. It gives me no shape at all. By the way, Roxy has joined us. Haven't you, Roxy? So they're both here. I also don't like the sleeve length. I would call this elbow length, not 3/4, certainly not long sleeve. And I don't like that look on me generally because I think it truncates my arms. I like a longer sleeve that gives the illusion of a longer arm. On the invoice, this is the Chris and Carol rib knit 3/4 sleeve top. These are not 3/4 sleeves, and it's priced at $39, which I think is way too much for this very simple top. It is ribbed there. You can see the texture of it. The color is nice enough. It's sort of a dark periwinkle, but the fit, terrible. I think this top is my favorite in the whole box as far as just looking at it visually and feeling it. I think it's super cute. It's adorable. It does fit well. I like that about it. Until I remember the reality that I live in Houston and I cannot wear thick, heavy sweaters like this. I would just die. It would be good for work. It would keep me warm or warmer in my freezing classroom. But when I walk out, I would melt because I'd be so hot. I love the colors. I love the textures of it. I love the polka dots. It's just very, very pretty. I like that the sleeves are long on me to cover my hands, which keeps my hands even warmer. I think this detail on the collar going into the shoulder is very pretty. It's a nice touch. And I just love everything about it except that it's a sweater and it'll stretch out by the end of the day. And I can't really wear it where I am. So it would be nice if Fashom took into consideration where people live and the environments and climates that they're in. On the invoice, this is called the long sleeve polka dot pullover sweater, and they have it listed for $43. I don't buy sweaters, so I don't know if that's a good price, but it does sound pretty fair. It seems to be very well made. I like the construction. It seems like a quality piece. All right, this is the dress, and I like it better than I thought I was going to. I think it fits really well. Try to back up as far as I can so you can see the length of it. So it's just above my knees. Oops, Baron's trying to jump up in the chair. Come on, Bear. I think the fit is very nice. It is kind of tight around here, and some of that is just me and not so much a problem with the cut of the dress. And then it has these ties here. Now this is a little weird because you'd think this is a belt to go around, right? Except that there's this big space between the two ends of the belt, and when you pull it over here, you get different lengths, and it's not supposed to go right in the back. It would tie in a weird place. So I think that it's supposed to just tie right here. I think it's supposed to just be like that and tie around the waist there. So you've got this bow, like this knotted bow at the end of the crisscross, but there's no belt that goes around. And I'll show you something else. So you see how I'm leaning over and nothing is spilling out, and that's because the fabric is tight enough that it's not sewn together right here. The fabric is tight enough that it just stays together naturally, and that's really nice, especially when you're a teacher. You need to lean over kids to do stuff on their papers. You don't want to have to worry about that. Not that I'd wear this to work anyway because I'd freeze in it, but yeah, I'm happier with it than I thought I'd be. Love the 3/4 sleeves. The length is good. I think it's a flattering cut. I'm happy with it. I think if I saw this at the store, because of the pattern, I probably would pass it by, but if I had picked it up and tried it on, I would consider buying it. On the invoice, it's listed as the Les Amis 3/4 sleeve floral print dress, and it's listed at $46. Now personally I would not pay that much. I think this would be more like a $25 dress. It does not feel like high quality to me. It feels like something I could get at Target or Walmart, you know? Probably more Target because it's cut a little better. But then the thing like the belt not connecting, that's more like Walmart. Sorry if you love Walmart, I don't. It's an interesting experience. I want to thank Fashom for giving me the chance to try out their clothes and their service. Never done anything like this before, and I feel like I learned a lot. And I also really appreciate that they donate to the Second Chance Rescue Dogs in New York City, and that their items are cruelty-free, 100% vegan, and eco-friendly. I can get behind all of that. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this, and if you're interested in seeing more videos of this type, leave your comments in the comment section, please. Have a fantastic day. Bye.